What is good, our beautiful individuals? You're tuning in for season 2 of the In the Cut series. It's your boy Rain,
It's your boy Jay.
and today we are accompanied by our fellow creative Elijah Blond and his manager Tay. We're gonna be, stepping into their mindset, their story a little bit, and kind of just like shed some light. We do these artist series. The reason why we do these artist series is because everybody sees the flower. Everybody sees the aftermath of like when somebody's up. I just started listening to you recently because and then I looked at your whole like discography and everything, bro, and you're doing well even on the number side of everything. But the thing is, we have to also show the roots. Because it's the most important part. It's the part where people can actually relate with you as a person, because that's the most important part. Like the streams mean one thing, the amount of new followers or whatever means something too. But it's about like that people actually understanding like, yo, who the fuck are you? Who do you want to represent? And it's beautiful and it's amazing that we have an opportunity through this series to really to run that. And we just want to thank you guys first and foremost for like being here for our season 2 episode 1.
Yeah.
Like last season was amazing. We had some amazing creatives on our show last season. The whole Chaos Club was with us. We had Natasha there.
Some.
Yeah, well, the whole squad's 22 deep.
Yo, you said all 25?
25 deep, yo. But, so furthermore, like, I just want to say thank you again, and let's run it.
Yeah,
let's
let's
have some
run
fun.
it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, introduce yourselves, and where are you guys from?
I'm Taylor. We're both from Courtney, actually.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm Elijah's manager.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm Elijah Blond, and
Hey.
we're from C-Town.
Let's go.
We both went to the same high school, actually.
Yeah?
Word.
Yeah, and then like I was born here, but grew up there, then moved back here a couple years ago. So
Word.
Yeah.
Did you ever play for the Comox Raiders?
the Comox Raiders, no, I had a bunch of homies. I was too skinny, so I got hurt on that.
Did you guys move out here together? Or was it one person come first?
I moved out here first. I didn't really know Eli when I was growing up because I'm a
Oh,
couple
word.
years older than him. Like he's, what are you, 22? I'm 24.
Yeah.
So like we didn't really know each other in high school. He was like kind of under my radar or whatever, but like not in a bad way. But, you
No, I feel it. I know what you mean. I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
I was young, man.
You kind of just hang out with people in your grade or like even
Yeah,
1 year.
best you're scoping like
I feel
a
you.
10, like I grade lower than you.
I feel you,
Like,
I feel you.
But yeah, but we kind of linked up through a friend that I met at Pemberton. It's actually like a really weird story how we met. I went to Pemberton with a friend of mine.
The festival or just the city?
The festival, yeah, Pemberton. It was 2016, I think.
Yeah.
I went with a friend of mine who actually passed away. Rest in peace to that guy. He's a legend.
Rest in peace to that guy, man.
He was with a big crew, and everyone was fucking waiting for me to go up to like the campsite or whatever and
Word.
set up our campsite. And this one kid, Kaya, was there, and he was chapped. He's like, "Who is this kid that we're waiting for right now? I don't even know him. The whole squad's waiting. You're gonna screw over a whole weekend or whatever." And I ended up finally getting there, and we ended up being like close friends after that. And Kaya was the one who introduced me to Eli.
Word.
And he brought him over to the city because they were coming to record, and they stayed at my house. And I was like, "Oh, who's this kid that's coming to crash on my couch? Like, I don't know this
Like
guy."
convinced me to go, and I didn't really want to, I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
done by myself.
I didn't really want him to come either. I was like, I didn't know this
At
guy
the-
was scratching my couch.
At the time, did you know like who he was at least, or did you know he went to the
No.
same high school as you?
I had no idea. I'd never even heard the name.
Word.
Right?
Crazy.
And he
You
just.
think he's frying? You
I
think?
knew he was.
You think he's frying right now?
No, that's true. That's true. But
Word.
Kaya vouched for him, and I was like, "All right, sure." And he showed up. I was like, "This kid's all right." And then we went to the studio, and he started singing. And I was like, "Okay, hold on. I gotta be a part of
Okay,
this.
word.
Like I want to be a part of this." So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of how it all started. And
3-4 years ago, maybe.
yeah, and we sort of worked like he was living in Courtney. We worked kind of long distance together. I wasn't like serious about the manager role, but
Yeah.
I was sort of helping him out because I was going to school for business at the time.
Nice.
And I told him like, you got to get to the city if you want to make this happen.
True.
So I live in a 4-bedroom house, and I got him over and Sab over and Kaya over, and we were all just kind of making music for a long time. Kaya ended up leaving, but Eli stuck around. He's doing pretty good, so that's
Nice.
kind of how it went down.
Word.
Yeah.
That's a blessing,
It's
man.
been like 2 years I've been in the city now. So
Yeah.
kind of just like the first little while was just like getting my foot in the door and stuff. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was slow to start with. It's
Yeah.
funny you said the flower thing when you were doing the intro, because I was thinking the other day about like what my job is, and I don't know, I guess I was just having a weird tangent, but my job is like just planting seeds, and like I kind of just hope that they grow.
Yeah.
And Eli is just a really good seed. You know?
You're speaking my language, bro. 'Cause that's how I see it too, bro.
Yeah, because you're always just kind of going for every opportunity you can get, but you never know what's gonna really pay off. And
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
So yeah, it's
Sometimes the ones that you don't expect to pay off are the ones that actually do.
yeah,
And they just
yeah.
like, how do we even get here?
Too
We
true.
never thought in
Yeah.
a million
You
years,
never-
even when we
yeah.
first made, like, obviously we wanted to, and like, we're not where we want to be, like, but man, at some points you gotta look back and be like, well, we've really done a lot of shit in the last
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
from where we were, like, I was just dropping songs on SoundCloud, and like, they were just popping off in the valley, really. Like, in Courtney, everybody was rocking with them, and I was like, oh, like, maybe I could do this. Like, I don't know, SoundCloud songs were popping off, but
I fuck with that, bro. I still use SoundCloud Go Plus, bro, for all my listening and shit. So yeah, like seriously, I just I'm a big SoundCloud guy, and like some of the best artists, like one of my favorite artists, Russ, yo, he's like one of the kings of SoundCloud, bro. So
yeah,
it's
bro.
like,
That's how I like. I was only like super deep into SoundCloud. Like, I love finding all the demos.
No, exactly,
Spending
Yeah.
hours
exactly,
and
bro,
stuff,
exactly.
finding
Yeah.
demos and leaks as much
Exactly,
as I possibly
exactly.
could. Like,
It's its own culture within it, you know.
Yeah.
It's so dope.
yeah, man, dope.
How'd you guys find the like the transition when you moved here?
I moved here like 4 years ago, I guess, and it was way different. Like, I lived in the valley for my whole life, or most of it. I was born in Tofino, but I was like young when I moved. Then I moved to Victoria for a year, and it was like kind of small there.
Yeah.
But like sort of wanted to like go a little bigger, so I went to the city, and yeah, it was a weird adjustment. Like trying to get around and stuff. Like I was using Google Maps for like first 6 months. Like, didn't even know where I was at the time, but. Yeah, probably the same for you, eh? Like,
Yeah, it's different. I mean, like, obviously, it's exciting at first when you first come, right? Like, especially coming from such a small town, and like, and there's nothing to do. There's not a whole lot of like inspiration to draw off of. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's like, it's beautiful there, and there's lots of nature and stuff. But just coming to the city is like, for me, like for the first year and a half, even now, like I just moved downtown in an apartment, and like, it's just endless inspiration for me. I feel like I can
Facts.
draw off the city and like just, you know, like the people in the city I
really,
met,
yo.
man.
Feeds
Like,
itself, bro.
just I feel like I really found my place in it, and
That's blessed.
yeah,
I love
think-
that.
yeah.
I love that for you,
That's
bro.
nice.
That's like so important, especially
Yeah.
because like sometimes when you come from somewhere else and you come here, like the city can feel like huge at first, but then when you start getting to know everything,
Yeah.
like it actually becomes smaller than you think.
Yeah,
And we're all like
exactly.
connected.
Yeah.
That's why it's like it's so
Yeah.
important to like really establish like, this
Facts.
community, yo.
It's
I don't know
daunting.
if you guys even like. I don't know if you guys have experienced it for yourselves, but like the city is hella interconnected.
oh, big time.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like everybody knows everybody.
No, yeah. Like,
One way or another.
It took a while, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, after a year or two living here, I'd like meet somebody random in the street or something. My homie's trying to pick up a girl, and just got, there's another one I gotta go talk to. Get her Instagram. I'm like, wait, you
They know each
follow,
other.
like 4 people I know. Like, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's a small city, man.
Yeah,
It is.
It's a small big city.
And when you
Yeah.
first moved here, it's like daunting too, because like we didn't know
Yeah.
anybody. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
we only would ever hang out with kids from Courtney who live here. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it was like, even if
Right.
I didn't know them in Courtney, we were just hanging out with them here, and like,
Yeah.
but it's daunting at first because you don't know anybody. I don't have any of those connections, especially going into music specifically.
Right.
Like, you need those connections in the city, and that's
Yeah,
what
man.
I kind of like. Our first year was just grinding as much as we can to network as much as possible,
Mhm.
and
Oh
like
yeah.
Yeah.
really take advantage of the city, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How'd you guys kind of like slowly start to increase that network, increase the people you know?
It started off with, it started off kind of slow, I guess. When did you start going to No More's studio, like Crev Max studio?
I think it was like November. It was right when Whispers dropped.
that
so
was
it
like right after you moved, pretty well.
Yeah,
like, a couple
it was.
months.
Yeah, maybe like 4 or 5
Yeah.
months after I moved here, and we started. And like, I was kind of part of this collective for a while, and like, they introduced me to a lot of people, and like, I made some dope connections, like met some good friends and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
And that was all through like people we knew in Courtney
from Courtney,
too. Like,
right?
there
Who
was
moved here before us.
Gerard, who's
Gerard.
an artist.
my guy. Polo Brian.
And Polo Brian, they were in the city here, and we knew them from back on the island there. And
Or-
they were working out of a studio with a group called No More,
Mhm.
that Crev Mac runs, and we ran with them for a while.
I don't
we
know.
got-
The collective just wasn't really for me. In a
We
sense,
got
you know?
we got a lot out of it though, like
Yeah.
On Road, like our Eli's track On Road.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
dope
that was our
producers.
biggest song for a long time, and Rose Gold produced that one. And
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Shout out Rose Gold, man.
yo.
Shout out Rose Gold. Rose
That's
Gold
my
is
guy.
Rose Gold, yeah.
he's the guy who produced.
That's
He
dope.
produced the beat,
intro, or
the intro
for the,
beat. for
yeah, no, I
this.
seen that. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So what do you want to do for splits? Like, do you want a percentage? Do you want to pay over for the beat?
What did
He's
he
like-
tell you? What
he's
did
like,
he
no,
tell
man,
you?
just have it. Just have it.
Yeah.
He was like,
Don't worry about it.
Yo, on a
bro, yeah. Facts, bro. I was like,
Rose
whoa.
Gold, bro.
That kid's crazy.
Your
man.
work is good. Let me take a quick break from the interview. Rose Gold, bro. You need to start charging for your beats, bro.
Yeah, bro. Dude. I was like, you sure? Like, you don't.
Yeah,
he's
you
like,
sure,
No,
bro?
bro. It's like it's a fire song.
It's
man.
love,
Just,
it's
like, put it
love.
out.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, all right. Bro. Like,
Okay.
shit, bro. But
Yeah, Rose Gold, we owe you one. For
yeah,
sure.
bro. We owe that man some for sure, bro.
Yeah, man. He holds you
Yeah.
down, man. He holds you down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, I got
So-
one in the vault with him too, and even he hasn't like. I'm like, what? What you mean?
I know.
You just gonna toss it to me?
He just loves like the art.
He's a good guy though. He's a very
Super
kind
dope.
heart.
Yeah.
He came through the studio
Very
and he
kind.
showed it to me, and I was like, I want this one. I was like, I don't care who else, I want this. Like,
Yeah.
I need this
Yeah.
one, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent me packs and stuff. I'd actually like to work with him again, man. That guy's super
Yeah.
dope. Like,
There you go, man.
vibe with his beats. for
Elijah,
sure.
Rose Gold.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
get it again.
Round 2, baby.
Let's talk about like how you kind of got started in music.
Alright,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like I've heard. How long has it been since you've been recording?
Recording specifically? Man, I don't know. I've been playing music my entire life, really.
Right.
Like, my whole family is musicians, essentially. And, like,
Mhm.
my dad was always in bands playing live. And, like, so, yeah, I learned how to play
Your mom,
instruments.
too, right?
And my mom as well, playing
Yeah.
live, yeah. But I just
Right.
learned how to play, like, a bunch of instruments
Yeah.
up until I was 10 or 11. Then I picked up the guitar. So, like, I was recording my acoustic songs. My dad had, like, little at-home recording set up and stuff like that. And he just like, oh, I want to record your songs. We'd like send it to family and stuff like, you
Word.
know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I was like
yeah, yeah.
15,
Yeah.
16, and like,
yeah.
man, I was writing some fire songs. I may have fallen off a little bit, not gonna lie, but like,
Yeah.
some of the like the raw lyricism of a 13, 14-year-old is
Yeah.
like nuts, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but
we joke about it because like some of his like really old songs are like some of our favorites.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
when
yeah,
when he was
yeah.
15, he was like going through it.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
sad boy
What
back
was
then,
going
huh?
on,
So
bro?
I'd assume maybe like your parents were pretty like supportive with you trying
Yeah,
to come
they
out and
always
everything.
have been,
That's
for
blessed.
sure.
That's
Like,
blessed.
yeah, my dad calls me 3 times a week with new like new equipment that's gonna be out. He's like, oh, you gotta get the
That's
Apollo
dope,
Twin, bro.
man.
Like you gotta like
Yeah.
Literally.
He's like, oh yeah, man.
Dude, you gotta call your dad and put him on speakerphone, and you guys need to hear how they talk.
How they talk?
It's like,
I
yo, bro,
called
what's
him
up?
like an hour ago.
Oh yeah, man, what's good? Just chilling, smoking, you know, just on the back deck.
Yeah.
What
Damn.
are you
Okay.
saying? You know, saying just smoking. It's like,
Like my
who you
homie,
talking to? Like
essentially.
Your
Frank
homies.
or Hank or one of your friends? No, it's my dad. Like what?
What the fuck? That's dope, man. No,
Yeah.
that's blessed. Cause like, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, like Asian background. You know, our parents aren't really supportive of those kind of like
it's
the
like the
creative
polar
things.
Yeah, we're
opposite
talking
of
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they'd want us to be nurses or this and that, and then when we first tell them, or when they first, not even you don't tell them. Like I'm telling you right now, I never even told my parents. They just walked in my room and they're like, "Why is this guy like talking into a mic or singing into a mic? Like, is this?
Yeah.
It's not karaoke. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they'll be like, "What's he doing?" Right? They'll get look curious, and then they'll be like, "What are you doing?" And then now you have to explain to someone that has a complete different vision for your life. That I don't want to be a doctor. I want to make music, and they're like, "Music? Like, where's the money in that?" You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
So like, blessed to be in that position for
My dad
sure.
pretty
Like
well
just to
groomed
have
me
that.
to do this shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. That's
he was
blessed,
like,
man.
I wish you would, you know, and like
Yeah, yo.
push me more than anything. So
That's dope.
I
That's
started
dope.
recording like in my bedroom and stuff when I was like 18 or 19, like or 17, 18, 19. Like I bought my own
Gear.
I bought my own gear and just did it in my bedroom.
What did you start
for a
off with?
while. I was using a Cubase DAW, just like some random audio
Damn.
tech. Like I saved up money for a while and I just like
Yeah.
got a mic and like I had no speakers or anything. I just like I bought a laptop. Like I didn't have a laptop. I just like bought everything I could possibly think of,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
base minimum. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
then started making beats with the homies and like
Yeah.
it kind of, I don't know, essentially turned into like my homie Kai just being like. I showed him some of the stuff I was working on my computer, just like fucking around and shit.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, you're coming to
This is
a
fire.
studio in Vancouver.
Yo,
You're coming." And I
That's
was
that's
like,
really
"Alright."
how it goes, man.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I've been fucking around with this with FL, and
Yeah.
I want to pay something for you, and then next thing you know, it's like it's actually fire.
Yeah, and I didn't want to either. It was just kind of for my friends, and like I would upload it to SoundCloud and like put it on private, and just like I wasn't really, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
some of like I don't know I was just making them, like recording them in my bedroom and shit. But we re-recorded one of them when we went to the studio for the first time. And I was still like, I don't know if I want to put it out, like put out this little track called Cream, and just on SoundCloud, and it got like 10,000 views in a month or something. And I was like,
Wow.
jeez, I was
That's
like,
crazy.
you know, I was like,
Yeah,
holy,
yeah.
That's the power of SoundCloud, man.
bro, like, and it was the whole, like my whole hometown was
Yeah,
playing.
it was like the
That's-
valley. Like,
you
like
walk
every
around,
kid in the valley was just
bumping
like,
out of their
Bumping
car.
it.
He's good at making music.
Hell yeah.
Every party
yeah.
was being played. Like I'm having people at parties sing the lyrics
Was it
back to
Canada
me.
Day?
It was
Canada
Canada Day, and I was on the deck by
That's
myself.
That was
dope.
when he knew we had
Popped
it.
on the outside speakers,
dope.
and like everybody starts singing the lyrics to me, and I was like, "Oh, this is a live show." I was like, "Oh, like I was."
Oh,
like,
y'all gotta pay me for this one.
yeah, fam. I'm lit. I'm like, normally I'd be embarrassed, but I'm like lit up at that point. I'm just like singing along with it. Like
Yeah.
at that point, I was like, yeah, this kind of feels good, you know. Like I could probably do this, like, you know what I mean. So, yeah, I don't know, like, kind of just doing that, and then eventually, like, the first song we put out on Spotify, like, got some pretty good numbers, and
Yeah.
ever since then, we were like,
Yeah.
okay, we should really do this. That's when we kind of started like taking it really seriously.
Yeah.
Even Whispers like was like 30K in the first month with no
That's
tracks up or
crazy.
something. I don't-
Just
yeah.
just off the strength of the people, like
Just-
no
yeah,
real,
like,
real
we-
marketing and
we just-
everything.
Well, I was marketing like
Word.
right after
Yeah.
Cream, like that first SoundCloud track. That was like me practicing like
What to
Facebook
do and
ads,
shit.
social media ads, and
Like-
Yeah.
playlists and stuff like what you can do.
We kind of
and
learned
stuff.
together, like from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm way more versed at making the music, and you're way more versed at like marketing
Yeah.
and doing everything. Like we both kind of
Definitely.
grown together.
Yeah.
And like
100.
Yeah, it's been a ride for sure.
Yeah, we're getting into the whole like figuring things out because we recently launched our label,
Mm-hmm.
so we're figuring out the ads and everything. How have you found like just the curve overall in terms of
Like
like
there's a lot of weird things to it. Like if you're looking at where is your money coming from, right? Where's your money coming from? What?
I was like, I don't know shit.
I don't know nothing.
nothing.
Well, like you've got Apple Music and you've got Spotify. Apple Music is like great because they pay out more, but there's way smaller market share,
Facts.
like of the streaming market, right? So you're focusing kind of on Spotify. Like everything's kind of based on Spotify. So you're looking at Spotify algorithms, and you're like, well, how to like that first song we dropped, Whispers, got on like the Discover Weekly and the Release Radar, right?
Yeah.
And that's how we got so many new fans
Yeah,
through
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's a great way to get
Yeah.
fans, but you're looking at like how do you get that? And it's like, okay, well, Spotify likes when you run ads and bring people to
to their
Spotify.
stuff? Yeah,
So that's gonna help you with the algorithm, and then you're like, okay, well, you also
Doji.
don't want to, you don't want people listening to the song that aren't gonna like it because the amount of time that they listen to it for, if they listen to 5 seconds and then skip, that's gonna hurt you for the algorithm. So it's like all that stuff is kind of tedious, I guess, like
Yeah.
trying to find your target market and stuff for ads. And then there's the playlisting aspect, which is sort of just finding things that really fit in like I don't know, in a way that like makes sense time wise and money wise. Like we've made connections now over time. Like we have channels on YouTube and stuff that
Yeah.
upload us pretty
you
regularly.
just send it to them.
Yeah, and they've got some really good playlists that help with the algorithms and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like I could go on about that stuff for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a big learning curve for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
What are some of Elijah's musical influences? I guess you could say.
Man, I got a whole lot.
Because
Like,
that's the thing. Like when
Don't say
I
Drake,
when I
don't say
listen
Drake,
to
don't
your
say Drake.
music, right? Like what do you say?
I said don't say Drake.
Oh,
Don't
don't
say
say
Drake.
Drake. Yeah, don't say arms. No. No, when I'm listening to your music, bro, it's like one, it's different from majority of the other people that are like, making music out of this city. But I can also hear so many different influences, different styles coming out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, okay, where do you draw inspiration from? And it doesn't even have to be an artist. Where do you just draw inspiration from?
Man, I don't know. Like, I feel like my head's all over the place, and sometimes it's just what comes out of me, you know, or like what I'm in the mood for. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up on a really broad spectrum of music that my parents listened to, or that even I was interested in, right? Like, just for like my entire life. So I feel like I like so many genres. It's so hard for me to stick to one genre for like a
Facts.
really long time. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I can write 6 trap songs in a row, and then I'm like, you know, like I don't want to write a 7th one. I want to write like some indie song or something like
Yeah.
that, or just like go full acoustic and write it on that. But like, I don't know. I grew up like listening to everything. You know what I mean? Like my dad was super like folk. My mom like everything from like that's where like she showed me Kanye West and like NWA and like everything. I don't know, but everything also to like Frank Sinatra and like Bob Marley and all these
Wide range.
wide range,
That's
man.
crazy.
Like the Beatles, of course. Like I list their entire discography just like from my mom playing it growing up.
That's
Like,
dope.
but I think all of that like really underlines the influence of my music.
Yeah.
But more directly, I'd say like Frank Ocean. As far as like the softer side of things, I like X a lot, and I was inspired by X how diverse he was. Like even from the beginning on SoundCloud,
Crazy
right?
diverse.
Like I was listening to him when he had like 10K followers on SoundCloud, and even then he's putting out like these crazy hard songs that like I'm a bop with my friends, and then he's also putting out like the saddest, most depressing music you ever heard. You know what I mean? Like, and you can do that, right? Like, so that kind of just inspired me to be able to go through with that. So the first year, I think that was kind of our goal, was to be like just as diverse as possible and just be like, I can do all these different things. And now as we're kind of like coming into this and like it's kind of a new chapter and everything, I'm looking more towards trying to find my sound for sure. But
who you really are.
But at the same time, like he's gonna find his sound, and then he's gonna 6 months later
Wanna
he's
change
gonna be
it.
like, I have a new sound, and I think that's sick too.
Which
Like,
is good though.
I think that's the way to go.
Your
Like,
sound like just evolves as you evolve as a person. Like the one thing I always talk about is like sometimes I won't write because like for me honestly I can relate with your story so much, and I'm just like sitting here and I'm like like my dad is like my biggest supporter. He's the one who bought me my first electric guitar when I was like in the 4th grade. I was playing rock and roll my whole life and shit. You know, like I was learning like Back in Black. I remember it was the first song I learned by AC/DC. Black Sabbath. I was listening to like the Ramones and shit, bro. Like School of Rock was like one of the first movies that I ever watched, and I was like, I want to be a musician because of the fucking movie.
oh yeah,
School of Rock was crazy.
No, straight up, bro. Shout out Jack Black, yo.
Shout out Jack Black.
But yeah, like for me, music has always just been something like that helped me heal. You know, it's just been that one thing that like just let me like tune in and kind of just like drown the outside world. And I believe in like a genreless music world. You know, I never make music with a genre in mind. It's kind of like we create our own kind of like sound. You know what I mean?
Just how you feel.
Exactly, just how you feel. Like for me, music are just like a reflection of emotions. And it's like an autobiography of what I'm going through at that time. And I just want people to hear that how I felt in that moment. And like the power of music is so healing. And when I was listening to a few of your songs, bro, even like that song Silk, bro, like fucking beautiful, bro. It's like it's true art.
That's
you know
a
what
real
I mean?
experience.
And like with the one thing with me and we were listening to your music in the car the other day, we were like soulful. You know what I mean? Like you make my soul feel full and good, bro. You know what I mean, G? And that's like the style of music I make too. Like we just dropped a song called Seasons. It's almost at 10K. We're gonna hit 10K by tomorrow.
Our season's out now. Link in bio.
Push it. Yes, sir.
So just that whole journey, like even learning like what works for us, you know, what's working when like when we see a spike. Like one night we had 1,000 streams in just like one night, and we're like, where'd that come from? What did we do? You know? So just the whole process itself is like is a whole learning thing, but I love it. You know, like I'd rather be doing this than anything else. You know, I love the whole process, and just had to like.
Music is healing. The songs are the feelings. You know.
Yeah,
I love that. I've always said that too. Like, I always said it's like mad therapeutic, just in the sense of like any negative aspect of your life can be like turned into a positive. Like, there's no better feeling than sitting in the studio and you have a banger on your hands, and you just sat there and everybody is just vibing out, and you're like, everybody knows it slaps. Like, no matter how depressing that song is, or like what it is to you, or what that moment is, you know what I mean? Like, it can be turned into a positive, no matter how negative it is. And it's so therapeutic to just be like, oh, like, I don't know, I just forgot about that whole situation, but this song slaps. I don't care. Like,
exactly.
I don't know. Sometimes you just want to be sad too. And you're like,
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like,
sad shit,
sometimes songs are created out of moments of sadness in your life, but then the more important part of it is the impact that it has on the next person. Like a really shitty moment of your life could have been somebody's like real uplifting moment. Because in that moment, in that moment they might have felt like, no one can relate to me, but this song can. And that's how like that's really how fan bases are made, to be honest.
It's true.
Like somebody from like Antigua or Colombia will find your song and like, yo, who's this guy from Courtney? You know what I mean? But that's how it is, bro. Like that's music.
That stuff's wild. Having people like message me strictly in Russian, and I
Yeah.
gotta
Yo,
translate.
damn.
I don't
I
know.
don't think you know this, but in your message request, you're in a Russian group chat for like building PCs or something.
Oh.
I don't know. I have no idea. There's like
I can't read it. I don't know.
I was going through and there's like.
Wait, how are you able to read it?
I'm on
You-
so.
Oh, okay, wait.
Manager. I got it. But yeah, I don't know what that's about. But I was scrolling through and it's like graphics cards and CPUs and I'm like, and they're all just like going.
Yo,
off
stream my song. Yo, stream Silk out now. I know Russia got a big population. You know what I'm saying?
Who added you to that?
Wild, man. Even artists like me growing up did so much for me. You know what I mean? So like I can do that for somebody else. Like that's crazy. You know, like and even people like I don't know. Sometimes like people ask me what my lyrics mean, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like there's a interview from the '90s with like I think it was Kurt Cobain. And they were like, what does this mean? What does this mean? He's like, I don't know.
I
Like,
don't know.
dude, figure it out for yourself. Whatever it means to you is
To
what
you.
it means. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for
And
real.
like just as far as people like interpreting my songs and like being able to relate to it like however way they want, even if it's not specifically what the song's about and it isn't exactly this, people still comment and they're like, oh, I'm going through this exact situation, bro. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like if they can help anybody, man, like that's amazing.
That's like right.
Yeah.
Like we have I don't know if the song's ever gonna come out, but there's a lyric he has. And it's like, I gave my life to the woes. I sold that shit to get paid. And I was like, that's so hard. Like you gave yourself to like the sadness, and then you sold it to get paid. It's like that's such a
That's
boss
hard as
lyric.
hell.
And he's
Drop
like,
that.
He's like, oh no, it says wolves. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, yeah, no, make it wolves. Like whatever
Like,
means
but
to you.
that's way
though.
more lit. Like that's
Fuck
way
it.
better. Like
Yeah.
just interpreting whatever.
Yeah.
it means to
Yeah,
you,
but I
man.
mean,
Like,
even if you
Yeah,
like
run
sang
it.
it wolves, like half people probably hear wolves, they'd be like, yeah, I feel
Yeah.
that. You know, it's like same thing. Right?
yeah, it's whatever it means to you, man. Like,
Yeah, facts.
Exactly. No, for real though.
Yeah.
That's like obviously as an artist you got to put your lyrics up on Genius and everything, but for a minute I wasn't putting my lyrics up because a lot of people were like, yo, what's he saying in this bar? And then some people would message me saying like, yo, this bar was so hard, and they did the same thing. They completely botched the whole line.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, yeah, that's the bar. It's
That's
hard,
it.
right?
That's
Fire. But then I started putting up the lyrics, so
Yeah.
somebody did that. For us.
We have some little fangirl in Courtney that like does stuff. I've been
Shout out to
tempted.
her. She put out every song I've ever
Honestly,
done. she
yeah.
put it
Shout out to her. She's making my job easier for sure.
oh, she puts the lyrics up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's blessed.
She's pretty
Wow,
active.
Yeah.
Fuck, yo.
I never
Can I
had
hire her, yo? What the fuck?
I've never
Oh,
put my own
shit.
lyrics out. She's
Oh, that's crazy.
every single one of them. Or
Yeah.
like a homie of mine will put them out or something like that, or like
Yeah.
I'll get him like go fix it or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Some-
yeah.
they're not
Yeah,
always,
fix
like,
it,
yeah.
I have like sometimes it's hard to understand like some of the lyrics.
Yeah, for sure.
He likes that. Like he likes when you can't quite tell.
No,
Of
yeah,
course.
straight up, bro.
Because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
adds to that.
Style.
It's
It sounds good
like,
too, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird. The things that aren't like, you know, when you start to slur some words together, you blend them a little bit,
Yeah.
and you just like you put the tension on the wrong syllable and everything, and then it's like not the way you really say it when you're speaking, but then in a mic when you're singing it,
Yeah,
it
it
sounds
good.
different,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that.
That's why like music is so open. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's open to interpretation. It's open to how you sing it.
Yeah, bro, that's what I love the most about it, man. It's like, and especially just like working in different genres as well. Like literally, what the reason why I wanted to do that was because if I ever wanted to be in a different
Genre.
like, release different music,
You
like
can.
I can. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not boxed into
You're
just
not
like
boxed in.
straight hip hop. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? And like I do eventually
yeah.
want to work on like a full length project with a cohesive front to back sound and like really like almost find my sound in a way with like still adding elements of like you know, it being different in a way. But I feel like for the past year and a half, 2 years, we've been kind of just like experimenting as much as we can, and I kind of feel like now we've
Yeah, it's been a lot of just like putting stuff out. Let's see how people receive this, and then I think it was like probably like a year and a half ago. I was like, Eli, you got to start making these kind of songs. These songs are doing really good. And he's like, alright, sure. And then he didn't write anything for like 3 months, and I was like, Eli, just write anything. And he's like, alright. And then I think we dropped like Tijuana, I guess was after that, or it was Silk, I guess. Yeah, that was Silk and Tijuana, and those were great. So yeah, I realized I ain't trying to put you in a
Facts.
box. Like we're actually gonna start kind of experimenting with a lot of different genres and dropping
Go
singles
for
and
it,
stuff
man.
like that.
Go for it.
So
Let's talk about those two songs real quick. Like Silk, what 1.6 M,
1.7 almost.
1.7
We'll
M.
be at 2 by middle of January. Yeah.
How does that feel as a kid from Courtney, damn near 2M?
That's it's. I don't know, bro. It's next level. It's like, I don't know. I never even imagined it, right? Like, it was
Yeah.
never even a thing that I really thought was possible. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we were hitting. Like, I mean, I did in a sense. I was like, I knew we could do it, right? Like, I still had that faith, but like, there's still that kid from Courtney that's like, there's no way.
No way.
You know what I mean? Like, you'll probably hit.
I
know?
figured it would happen. I spent all this damn time. I said, it happen.
I made it happen.
Put a lot of years of work into
Yeah,
it. So,
facts.
like, man, I can't
Yeah.
tell you how like satisfying it is to.
Get
I mean, numbers aren't
recognized.
everything at the end of the day.
Of course.
Like,
For the recognition.
But you
oh,
got
man, like,
exactly.
it feels good.
You
Like,
have to.
you spent your entire life like
Yeah.
literally wanting to do one
Yeah.
thing only and nothing else, and then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is like, it's like a resume where you like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
can continue
It's
doing
a
what I
resume.
want to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Essentially,
it's
right?
the-
So,
right?
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel so blessed, like, just to have like even met Taylor, like you know, anybody in my life
Yeah.
who's like,
That's the nicest
no,
thing
just
I've
no,
ever
just
said.
like none of this would
Yeah,
have
right.
happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
So blessed I met you, bro.
Nobody like, you know, I need the
Take
motivation.
my
Yeah,
time
yeah,
Relax,
for a
bro.
sec.
Yeah.
I'm very much like, I don't know, like your typical artist in a sense. Like
Yeah.
I need somebody to like kind of keep me on track when I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just through the whole process of everything. Really, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like I really just want to like hide in my house and make music. You know, like
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like obviously I love coming talking about everything and like. But for the most part, like that's my whole interest in why I'm doing this. Like I really don't want to do it for all the attention or the numbers. It's because I really like making music, and if I could, you know, like continue paying my bills and doing what I need to do for like my life, that'd be sick, right? Like that's eventually the goal and the end of it. And like I just feel blessed that we've gotten the chance to be able to do that. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Has music reaped enough benefits for you to be able to cover your bills off of it?
for the most part,
That's
yeah.
blessed, man.
At this point, like as of September,
As of
he's
last
making
4 or 5
more
months,
money off music than he is his day job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
What's your day job, if you
Quit
don't
the day
mind me
job
asking?
of landscaping.
Landscaping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were gonna bring him part time. I don't know. You should still work a little bit, maybe.
Yo, it's a good manager, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
working.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. You need money
No,
for
like
expenses and
there's
stuff, right?
absolutely nothing wrong with using a 9 to 5 to pay for your 5 to 9.
Yeah.
like,
You know what I'm
and we
saying?
could
Yeah.
too. It's not that we couldn't. Like I make way more music or way more money off music than I do like at my day job.
Yeah.
So like, but in the sense like
But we still don't want
we
to
don't
spend
like
it all.
we don't like touching
Yeah.
it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we
Good.
like
Yeah.
music is
Good
expensive.
investment.
Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
like doing all the music videos like
It
we
is.
spent like I don't know, $7,000 on a music video.
Tijuana?
Like, for Tijuana, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's expensive, man.
It's
Producers,
expensive, man.
And just as you get more like, just like recognition, as you work with different producers,
You have to
who are-
level up now.
cost
Yeah,
more.
you don't want to like bring your brand up here and then next drop it's down here. Like you want to have the
Consistent and always
yeah,
build upwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that costs money. So
Facts.
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're blessed too. Like we work with like our videographer Mitch Rowland.
Okay.
His company's Walter Pictures. He did the whole Silk video for free. It's actually funny. He's from our hometown too, and I knew Mitch because Mitch was friends with my sister growing up, so he used to come over and party at my house all the time. And
Word.
he found Eli on the ferry.
He just randomly walked up.
Randomly walked
Like, I
up.
like your music.
who you were?
Yeah, yeah.
I
'cause-
didn't know who he was. I was like, oh, appreciate it, man. He's like, yeah, cool. Like, kind of walked away. Then he came up to me later. He's like, look, man, I make videos. Like, if you want to make
Yo,
a video for this,
he
like, do
did.
you have any demos? I was like, yeah, I got this demo.
Yeah.
Like, showed him Silk
Yeah.
when it was like
Yeah, yeah,
raw version. He's
He
like,
did the
yo.
okay, I'm gonna walk by him
Yeah.
and I'm gonna pitch him. Okay, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Look, man, I make
I make videos.
videos.
Like, I know some of your friends like who also make music. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, dope. Like, he's one of now he's one of the day ones. Like, he's one of my best
Nice.
friends.
Yeah,
man.
he's
I
part
love
of the
that guy,
squad.
and like he's done so much for us, and like there's so much respect in
Yeah,
that. And, like,
yeah, like he did that whole video for free too. And
That's
Eli
blessed.
told me, he's like, yeah, we're doing a video for Silk, and Mitch is gonna do it. I was like, how much? He's like, oh, it's free. And I was like, are you sure we want this guy? Like, is he good?
Yeah.
Because our first video was with Roy Hemi, who went to. He's actually from Comox too. Of course, everyone's from.
Damn, yo, he brought the
And-
whole valley here.
Roy Hemi's going
But
crazy.
Roy is crazy. Like Roy, like the owner video is like some of his earlier work, I guess, but he's working with like
Famous Dex.
yeah, Famous Dex is like Famous Dex was on the story like, yo, this is my boy. I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
That's boy. Like, that's,
From here?
Yeah,
He's from
yeah,
here?
he's from our
Courtney.
went to high
That's
school.
crazy.
Went to high
That's
school.
like,
That's
Yeah.
there's so many
What the
kids
hell?
from our hometown.
Yeah.
Like,
This is why we literally have this series in the cut. It's
Yeah.
because I didn't know that you guys
Yeah.
had so many creatives out there, even doing things out in the mainland, right? So that's why we do these things, right? To bring those gems out of the cut.
Yeah.
Cut,
some in the
baby.
water there, like, you know. And
Yeah.
everybody just kind of like moved here, and like this is where you got to be to do anything. Like, I don't know, Vancouver is like obviously the most poppin' place in the whole industry, but like
It's getting there.
It's getting
I
there,
see
yeah.
it has a bright future ahead of it, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
Yeah.
Just a lot of the artists coming out of the city, and like a lot of the things that are being done behind the scenes are like
Compared to 2 years ago, the whole
Compared to
city's
2 years
gone-
ago,
Oh,
like-
compared to a year ago.
and a
Yeah,
year ago,
yeah,
even,
yeah.
bro. It's like
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
it's wild, man. It's super
Yeah.
wild. It's like I just think there's so much talent here for it not to be noticed. You
No,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
Like, Toronto had its run doing like some like that whole scene popped off, and it's
Mm-hmm.
still like taking over a lot of the industry and everything, right?
I
But,
don't even
like,
see a lot from Toronto these days. I know that I know
I'm
it's
just
just
saying that we're up next. Like
Yeah.
it has
Hell
to
yeah.
be. You know what I
No,
mean?
it's-
Like,
yeah.
everybody
Inevitable.
just assumes
Yeah.
we're from Toronto. You're just like, oh, like I'm from Canada, and they're like,
Oh, Toronto?
yeah, like
No,
downtown
actually, the
Canada.
complete opposite.
way like really
Yeah.
far that
Dude,
way.
yeah, like I met it, people are like, oh, you don't like the Raptors, and I'm like I don't. That's so far away, bro. I might
Yeah.
like New York
Yeah.
or like any other team. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm a Philly fan, but like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know. Like it's different, right? And it's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different music scene, right? And like I think it is inspired slightly by like the West Coast vibes, and I think it's so unique with like especially the people who are here and all the music that's being made is like it's different, man. And I think its time has come. Like
Facts.
soon, it has to. Right?
has
Like,
to.
I don't even think it's gonna be like a thing that just happens. I think it's just slowly, like 5 years from now, we're gonna look back. And
You're
be
just
like,
gonna look up and it's like,
Yeah.
holy shit, what the
oh
hell?
yeah,
we're
everyone's
on.
doing
you know?
really well.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like how the city always has been, right? Like, even just if you're a regular Joe, the city isn't like a spontaneous, like opportunities popping out of nowhere type of city.
Mhm.
It's things that you work for and you
Mhm.
grind out.
Yeah.
And even like the weather, man, it's like it's mellow and it's cold, and you know what I'm saying?
rain.
Yeah.
It's raining. It barely snows.
Yeah.
So like even the
It's
snow doesn't want to pop off. So
yeah.
you know, so
Yeah.
I mean that's just the nature of our city, which
That's
is cool,
true.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What's key is that we need to embrace that and like, okay, how can we make that work for us now?
Yeah.
Rather than saying, yo, the city's slow as hell, I'm gonna just move.
Just move to Toronto or move to LA. Like, I don't want to do that, man. Like, I want to see. Like, I love this city. Like, it's given me more just like
That's
hope
good,
and
man.
inspiration than I
Oh,
ever
yeah.
could ask
Yeah.
for. Really.
Yeah.
Like,
Like from a manager perspective, I've always had the idea like I'm moving to LA. Like once like this shit pops off enough
LA.
that we can.
We're going to LA.
I'm going to LA.
Yeah.
Eli's like, all right, like I'm staying here. Like I'll come stay at your house. I'm like, that's fine, but you're gonna have to come stay with me. Yeah.
and like it's
So-
not off the table, but like. I just want to do everything I can for this city as much as like, and you
That's
know what I mean.
blessed.
Like, not that I have
Respect,
much
bro. Yeah.
pull
Big
right
respect,
now, but
man.
like,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to do because I see like some people popping off and like it's just not even like or have popped off and like in the past and it just like is just the name like the word Vancouver number comes out of their mouth. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
always like oh
Yeah.
I'm from Toronto. Like even like
Facts.
like Achilles from Victoria.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
like
Yeah.
you know, like there's
Yeah.
a lot of people
Yeah.
who are from here who aren't
Claim it,
from
yeah.
here, right?
Yeah.
Like I think this city deserves it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want everybody to eat essentially. Like if you can,
Yeah,
if
that's
you
your
can-
motto, bro.
Right?
Whole team eats,
Yeah.
dog.
I think there's so much
Yeah.
talent. There's so much people who've done so
Yeah.
much for me, and like just giving me endless inspiration and motivation to do this shit. That like I owe the city that in a sense. You know what I mean?
That's best, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's-
I mean, even if we leave too, right? Like,
Even if we
it doesn't
just do
like
as much as I can, right?
doesn't
Like,
mean we're not like gonna come back and rep the city. Like no matter where we live, we'll always rep back.
Yeah.
for sure.
That's best, man. We need people like actively voicing that, being vocal about that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
for real. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, and like even if once you get to that point where like I don't know, whoever does it, man, like there's got to be somebody, but whoever gets to that like top tier point, like just helping out the city as much as you can, like I don't feel that like that pride is say like rappers from Atlanta or like people from like New York or wherever, right? Like if you gotten, you know, like you've done what you need to do and you've reached your certain point, and then you start picking out artists from the city, you know what I mean, and like trying to elevate your city. It's almost like an economy of like of music, right? So like I would, if I, you know, if somebody gets there to that point, if I do, I'd love to like just do as much as I can, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't want to drop names, but there's people up there that aren't doing any favors for anybody. But I don't.
I mean, you gotta get your own at this point.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
For
right?
sure,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm talking top tier level, like, but like, man, I have a full confidence. Whether it's like, you know, whether it's like a year, 5 years from now, I have full confidence that there's enough talent in the city that like something's gonna happen.
Yeah, things will change for sure. Like they have been for sure. Yeah.
And I think it's slowly we're just like opportunities are growing because infrastructures are being made. It's a little bit more accessible to make music now.
Yeah.
There's more people that you can get to know.
More studios.
More positions. There's more studios. So that's the key thing, right? Like opportunities pop up when there's a system in place.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like Chaos Club's whole thing too.
Yeah.
Like I know you guys just interviewed Buck and Natasha and Jamon too, I guess. But yeah, we're just starting to kind of.
Oh, yeah, we're working with Chaos Club.
Yeah.
Isaac. And
Word.
We're working
For a release, a single,
it's a
just overall.
it's
Nice,
yeah,
nice,
it's
nice,
it's just like a 2-year repeating contract depending on what happens.
How the first
but
one goes, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a contract with their media group, like Natasha and their creative outlet, and then co-management through Isaac, as well as Buck. So I'll kind of get a chance to like level up,
Learn
my
everything.
stuff
Yeah,
too.
be a sponge,
Yeah.
man. Be a
Yeah,
sponge.
exactly. Right.
Because me and Jordan have known Buck for a minute now, and he's like a radiating
Yeah.
soul of information and just things you didn't know you needed to know. This guy knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, Buck. Yeah, real visionary. So that's the best position to be in, man. Like, really pick everything up.
I'm super lucky to be able to work, not just under Buck too, but like Isaac as well.
Yeah,
who
yeah,
just went through the process of learning so much from Buck too.
For
so.
sure.
And Isaac's been a day one supporter. Like the first song we dropped on Spotify, like Whispers, he was like, he immediately hit me up. Like I think it was like 2 days after I dropped it, and he's like, "Oh, we got to get you on a track with Bozzy. Like we got to make this happen." And I was like, "Oh shit," because I had known of Bozzy before. Cause like he came up in Victoria, and like I had friends who went to school there, and like tell me about this kid who's coming up, like had like 1,000 followers or something. Like, and I was like, "Oh, this kid's hard." Like eventually got in contact with Isaac, and like we made 250 happen. And Isaac's just been really a supporter since day one, and like
It's blessed, man.
so it's super dope, man. And he's just like a good homie of ours after like just being connected for that long, and like I'm really excited to work with everybody there, man. Like there's some talent they got there.
And it's in place. It's like you were saying, right? Like there's tools there.
There's tools, there's resources, there's infrastructure.
Yeah, and I think that's like a big part of what Chaos Club is, like from what I understand. It's just like having everything in the city, like not outsourcing your graphics, like whether it's cover art or beats or whatever, just having everything there, right? Which is crucial.
And they need like you're saying, like they need things like that. They need that infrastructure if the city's gonna like pop off as much as it is, you know what I mean? And I feel like we're blessed, you know, to be able to work with these guys, and just like for what I see for them in the future, you know what I mean? And like obviously, like Boston's gonna go crazy. There's no way that kid doesn't pop off, and like
there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way.
At this point, it's inevitable.
It's inevitable at this point. Like,
yeah, he's just too good. He's just got it.
Not to gas Bozzy up, because we're gonna get you on here one day.
Yeah, we don't need gas him.
But we'll have our own conversation. But it's so like effortless, I guess. Like when I listen to his music, it's like it's just smooth. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with yours, bro. Like just smooth. Like earlier when I was driving today, I was on Kingsway, and I actually passed by the motels where you filmed Tijuana.
Oh yeah.
And then your song was playing, and it was sunny, and I'm like, this is a fucking mood, bro. Like I'm just cruising by myself. Like, yeah, it's like it's crazy. I don't know. But in terms of like working with Chaos and everything, and even after that, what can we expect like next? Or what are you guys working on next? What's coming up?
Well, it's been like the past like, geez, I don't know, 6-8 months. I was really working on this 48 tape. It's kind of like an EP tape thing that was going to be like.
I thought you were about to say 48 track tape.
No. I had a SoundCloud mixtape I dropped called the 48 tape like 3 years ago maybe, and kind of just wanted to put out like I've kind of been working. It was just kind of like a bunch of songs that I didn't want to drop as singles kind of put together, you know what I mean? And like we had it ready, we had the whole rollout and everything, and I don't know, man, after like we kind of got into talks, so we kind of like, okay, we'll wait on it, and it's been like 8 months of sitting on a lot of these songs, and like I just feel like in the past few months I've really locked in on like a new sound that like I was saying earlier, how I wanted to experiment and like for the first little while and like really just show how like my diversity. I feel at this point I've come to a place where I'm like, I kind of want to pick a path now, you know what I mean? And like this 48, the volume 2 one that I've been working on is like so all over the place, you know what I mean? So it's still in the talks, like we're still kind of working it out, and like who knows, I could drop it, like I could rework it, but like I'm sitting on a whole lot of music right now, you know what I mean? So and a lot of it's really different, so I kind of want to sit down and be like, what are we really working on? So we might just drop a single and kind of test the waters with this new sound I've been working on, and or we might rework, like it's more of a hip hop style EP. But
might make it kind of like an A-side, B-side. I don't know. There's like 6 or 7 different ways we might go with that.
I'm not really sure. But
this is kind of the week where we're sitting down and like getting the guys from KS to listen to it, seeing what they think, seeing what we want to do, I guess. Like we have the finished EP, and then we've got these other tracks, and we're like, do we drop a single and test the waters with this new sound, or we just get this done and get it out there? I don't know. We're not sure. But
I feel bad too. Like I've been promising like a lot of people music for a really long time. It would like we had it like ready to go, sent off. Like Tijuana dropped, the music video was gonna drop, the EP was gonna drop all in September, and like I spoke about it in interviews, man. I was like, it's dropping September 30th. We got this, and then it was like just kind of held back, and then like I don't know. You almost get like uninspired after like 2 months of sitting on it and it being done and ready to go.
I don't want to drop it anymore.
I'm such an artist like that too. Like I'll get bored of my own music, you know what I mean? But
I suspect we'll probably, at least most of those songs come out at some point.
At some point, they're still all really good, and like I'm still like confident in everything, but like it's just I don't know. I just want to get music out at this point. I want to put something out, and like.
We're also just held back from like Natasha's doing our creative right now, so she's kind of not rebranding us, but sort of just dialing in our brand a little more and finding kind of our look.
And that's what I kind of wanted to drop, like a new sound, because I feel like we're, like this whole thing is almost like a new beginning, and like I feel like I want to settle down into my sound as much as I can, and like. We're working new, like a creative director and everything, and like get everything kind of on brand and everything on point, and like really start to like make this as professional as we can. You know what I mean?
But those things don't have to be mutually exclusive either. Like we can still, I don't know. There's a lot to talk about with that. That's still on the table. So we're figuring it out. But something's coming
as fast as we possibly can. We're gonna get music out.
Okay, word.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Word. Absolutely. I guess maybe someone from Courtney's watching this, or someone from the island who wants to make music, or someone wants to be a manager, right? Yeah. What would you guys kind of like say to them, just from your experiences, and everything you've been through up until this point, on what to tell those guys? And don't tell me don't give up, because I've got that for the last 5 episodes.
The only thing from like a manager perspective is like there's no point doing it. Like the only reason why I'm so good at managing Eli, and I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
Okay.
The only reason I'm killing it is because I am Eli's #1 fan. If somebody tries to tell me that they're a big fan of Eli, then I am. They're lying, because they're not, and that's why it works so well. So if you want to be a manager, make sure you absolutely love what the person's putting out, because you're not going to be able to pitch it and sell it to anybody if you don't care about it as much as they do.
Exactly. The passion won't be there.
Yeah, exactly.
All it takes is that one person to like him a little bit more, and then now you're in a, should you even be his manager type thing? Yeah.
That's it too, right? Exactly. Yeah. Like, where are you supposed to be? Yeah. So that's. You
gotta believe in it for sure. Like, same thing.
Believe in it.
Yeah, believe in it.
Nah. Yeah.
But as far as like, I don't know, an artist goes, is like people. I think the biggest misconception is like how easy people think it is. To just like sit down and write a song. Like I don't know. I think like you gotta work really hard, man. Like you gotta put in a lot of time into doing this, and like it's a grind, and it's like not a really I don't know, it doesn't give a whole lot, that grind, because you're not going to see like
a lot of results.
You're not going to see a lot of results for a really long time, man. Like I've been like really writing music since I was like 10, like, you know what I mean? Or like, and it really takes like a whole lot out of you, like mentally, but it is so worth it once you feel like you've spent however long like grinding as much as you possibly can to like reaching your max potential, and you finally see those results, like those come, whether it's like 6 months or like 4, 5, 6 years down the line of you grinding and putting in your work and like putting in your time into this, is like, I don't know, man, it's more satisfying than you could ever like imagine, you know what I mean? Like I never really took it seriously until like just a few years ago, and like, I don't know, never in a million years I thought I'd be out here doing this in any capacity.
And I think a lot of people get like the wrong idea, because like there's a lot of like, especially in like the rap community, there's so many kids that are like 18, 19 that are just
popping off.
Yeah. And that works. Like viral media marketing is amazing. Like that's awesome if you can do that, if you can make a good song, make it happen. But like that's so hard to do. It's
hard,
probably
bro.
not going to be you. You know what I mean? Like,
you know how many kids are trying to bank on that happening to them?
Yeah, I see.
TikTok signs like artists,
Exactly.
labels and shit now, and it's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if you drop a song and it gets 1,000 views, that doesn't necessarily mean the song's bad. Maybe you're just not putting enough into like what happens after the song drops. Like,
yeah, there's a lot more to it than just
there's
writing.
a lot more
to it than just sitting there in your room and writing, right? 'Cause initially that's what I thought it was. I was like, oh, I just sit in my room and write.
Yeah,
like,
go take a photo shoot for
like
the cover.
It, then it'll get views. If
more
they
than
don't
that.
like it, it won't. But that's not how it works,
Yeah.
right? There's so much good music out there that doesn't get views because of so many other factors, like, you know, marketing or just hearing it. You know, like if you never hear a good song, you'll never know it's good, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's a true grind, really.
Try
like,
not to get discouraged, I guess.
Because you're not gonna make a whole lot of money right off the bat either, right? Like,
No,
you really gotta
you're
learn how to
not.
balance, like, work. Like, we used to only get studio time, and at like 10 o'clock at night, and like I'd still work in 5 days a week, and like
Yeah, we did that.
we'd go at 10 until 2, 3 a.m. and then I gotta wake up at 6 and go back to work, and like it's like working 2 full-time jobs essentially, and then like then weekends you're doing photo shoots or whatever it is, and like you really gotta want to do it. You really gotta be passionate.
When we first started, we'd do like the 9 to 9, right? Like we get there at 9 p.m. Engineer would set it up. Cole Schumann, shout out to Cole Schumann, by the way. He was another reason why we were able to do this in the first place. He would set up, and we'd be ready to go by 10. Most of the time, we wouldn't make it till 9, but we'd be there till 6, 7. The sun comes out. And it's like, all right, time to go.
I was still living in Courtney, so I'd drive over here, and we'd get one night of studio time.
Oh,
when you have that studio time, it's like you gotta get
12 hours
night,
straight of as many songs as I wrote while I was in Courtney.
Yeah.
I'd come out and we'd get as many songs done as we possibly
never finish
could.
everything.
No way.
Yeah.
And I'd crash on Taylor's couch, and then I'd drive back, and like,
Damn.
See in a couple weeks, kind of thing. Yeah.
but do it, man. The more art out there, the better, man. The more ways you can express yourself as a human being, and just like, it's a great channel to be able to express yourself. And like,
man.
there's great benefits to it if you're good at it. But
And I think like another thing, like having like the relationship like ours, like Eli doesn't have to worry about like, because I think an important thing about music is like just making music kind of for yourself. Like you're like, I like how this sounds. I'm expressing myself.
the reason I do it, I enjoy doing
and that's like
it.
all art. Like you shouldn't go into art with the mentality that you're trying to make money, because it's not going to be good art. But you need to have the mentality that you need to make money if you want to do it full time. So then I kind of separate him entirely from that, where I can focus on that, but he can still remain authentic and genuine to his art.
Exactly.
So like, you know, use the people around you, whether they're videographers or they're good at business or they're good at engineering or producing, whatever. You just use the people around you, right?
Yeah.
Stay in your lane, kind of thing. I think that's key too.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, be resourceful.
Yeah.
Like seriously, that's the one thing I always say too, is you guys gotta always just be resourceful with what you have and adapt with that, and the more will come. Like everything that we've been doing, it's been as a team. You know, because like I, for example, like the way we see music is, we don't want to take away from that creativity. We truly want to still have it. So we're just trying to build an enterprise with all the things that we're doing with Av, this being one of them. Is to one day make some income off this, so then we're still more creatively free. And when it comes to music, we can just focus on music.
Exactly it.
You know, and that's just so important. Exactly,
right?
that gives you longevity in the game. Like you being able to just keep being creative. You know.
Focus on that.
So it's good that you have each other, because like that's just so important.
It's
and
good that you get that too.
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
I see success in your future.
Thank you, my G. Thank you, bro. Like this whole team is just like just
blessed.
like it's just blessed that like people have each other's backs, and it's just so important to have somebody who pushes you, holds you accountable, you know, and even
Yeah.
if we all have our weaknesses, so you can help
Always
each
on my
other out
ass,
too.
too,
No,
like-
exactly, bro.
Oh yeah.
right?
Hey, I
So,
get lazy too, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
we
like-
all do, yo. So
Eli doesn't usually make me feel bad, but sometimes it's like 3-4 days I haven't talked to him. Like, I was supposed to do something. Like, is he gonna bring it up? And he's like, hey, so you guys are going good. Okay, so that thing that I was supposed to do, I'm gonna do that. I promise. He's like, dude, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's okay. But yeah, holding people accountable.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
too. You gotta.
Building a team
Yeah.
is important, man.
Yeah.
Like, as much as you can. Like Cole Schumann from day one was like, that's our dog, man. Like from day one, he was getting us free studio time. He was engineering and mixing and mastering everything I've ever done.
That was like
You know what I
another
mean? Like,
weird thing where the stars really aligned.
We got
Is
lucky,
our
bro.
friend Cole? He was going to Nimbus at the time for producing,
School.
engineering, producing. Yeah, Nimbus school recording, and he was doing it to kind of work with Kaya, who was the guy who introduced me to Eli. So we got free studio time through him, and then his semester ended, and then our other friends started going to Nimbus right after. So we're like,
more
okay,
free
good,
studio time.
we
Yeah.
still have it. And then
More
he
time.
graduated, and he's like, yeah, I don't think that was for me. And we're like, okay, shit. Cole, what are you saying? He's like, I'm getting a job at Nimbus. And we're like, perfect, that's great. 'Cause we really need
Clutch.
that.
Nimbus coming in clutch.
So I don't think we've ever paid for recording time. I don't think we've ever
That's
paid
blessed,
for
man.
recording
That's
time. Yeah.
It's money saved anywhere. Is
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
gained somewhere else.
Facts.
right? So-
Exactly, and that's we've been able to put more money into other things. Exactly,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that's been huge.
we want to make like the whole team eat. We want to eventually like get a studio of our own that like we can just let Cole run and like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
some of the OG homies just come in and like do whatever they want to do. I got a lot of homies in like graphic design and like
Build it,
clothing as
man.
well, fashion. So just like
You got the pieces. Build it.
that's
Yeah.
eventually what we want to do. We
Yeah.
kind of want to build our
Do
little
it.
Yeah, these
shelter.
Do
these
it.
next 2 years, like,
Yeah.
that'll be something we save up for too, is like a space for equipment.
We
and
just
stuff
got
like that.
ours.
yeah, we just
Yeah.
got ours. We just did all like the flooring, all the painting and
Yeah.
shit.
Did it
And
ourselves.
there's like a pride that you take in too when you're doing it yourself, and it's like
Yeah.
your own spot, and you're like,
Yeah.
yo, this is gonna be like a place where like some of our platinum hits are gonna be made. You know what I mean, yo?
Yeah.
So yeah, yo, like honestly, the city is actually pretty dope for like supporting artists in a lot of sense. Like
Yeah.
a lot of artists like funded buildings and stuff, government funded buildings for artists
That's
and shit.
true, yeah,
like we're
yeah.
paying only like 9 bills for our spot right now.
Wow, that's
yeah, and like
actually
split between
reasonable.
5-6 of us, yo, it's like
Mhm.
yeah, yo. So we're over at Beaumont. Shout
Yeah,
out
like they have that
Beaumont.
one in Gastown where Nasty works at, right?
oh yeah, that one's dope.
I
Yeah.
think that's one of them.
Yeah.
And then who else works at? What's it called? Sorry? Do you know what it's
I
called?
don't know what it's called.
One of our boys is looking at a spot up there too.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, there's a bunch of producers that work in there, like Fair's team, like V has some friends that work in there. But yeah, it's cool. It's just like every single person in there is running a studio, and there's
Even in
there's 8 or
Chinatown, yo,
10.
there's underground studios, bro. Like in Chinatown, I've been underground, bro, and there's like studios on studios
really?
on studios.
Yeah,
bro.
this is underground too, like the one in
Yeah.
Gastown I'm talking about.
Yeah, bro.
I didn't know they had it in Chinatown
Dude,
too.
everywhere. There's like an underground scene
know, last-
in Vancouver.
last
There's a whole
season was there.
underground.
Oh, like
bro.
a for real
It's like a creative
scene.
underground. All the
underground.
creatives go underground, bro. It's so
That's
sick.
crazy,
yo.
huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
We're not underground like
Yeah,
underground, like
yeah.
underground.
Yeah,
Like you gotta walk through this dingy
Yeah.
store and boom, but there's like a different world when you get there.
It feels like you're like in an arena and you're like on tour and you're like walking like the halls of the arena and
Okay,
shit.
I
That's what
got
it
you,
feels
got
like. In
you.
each door you open, it's just like studios.
Huh.
Yeah, and like they're doing different things. Yo, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, bro, you need a good space.
That's in Chinatown.
Yeah.
I think Polo's home.
You want me to show you?
Yeah, bro.
I'll show you. Yeah.
Man, I've been
It's
to so
Chinatown,
many
bro.
like crazy studios in the city too. Like,
I pulled up to a studio in Chinatown twice and parked there, and it just didn't pan out both times. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure Polo's got a friend that's got a studio now.
Yeah, look around, yo. For
Yeah.
sure.
you
Uh,
know, hella studios in the city, man. There's like
Yeah.
there's some
But
crazy.
that's the good
ones
part,
and shit.
right?
Fuck
That's
it,
the
we'll make
infrastructure I'm
more.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, I finally got to work with Cult.
Yeah, anything else?
Yeah.
I got my questions off. Yeah, we sneaks one in at the very end.
It's alright. Bonus question.
Yeah.
What's your bigger picture, bro?
Bad.
That's the one I always ask in a sense.
What's
It's just
my
like,
bigger
what's your bigger picture? So for me, for example, like my day job, what I do is I do hair.
Yeah.
Like, so if you ever need a cut or anything, let me know,
No.
dog. So I do hair. I'm a
No,
bar-
no,
I'm
no,
a
no, no,
barber.
no, no. Don't go to
Right?
him.
Now, bro.
Come to us here.
Yeah. So like, so for me, my bigger picture is the people. You know, so like for me, like I'm able to connect with somebody like authentically through just like cutting hair, for example. You know,
Yeah.
I can build an amazing connection, and it sometimes lasts like years. You know, it's like some of my clients like invite me to weddings and shit. I'm like,
Facts.
holy fuck, that's
Yeah.
crazy. You know,
Gotcha.
and so it just shows like it's a real thing. So Like, what's your bigger picture? What's that one thing that keeps you motivated, bro?
I mean, like, I don't know, like, people as well, man. Like, just the people that hit me up, just whether it's through Instagram or like, I've had a few people just like recognize me in person, and like that's the craziest feeling in the world.
Yeah.
But like, just people hitting me up, and like I've had people be like, "Hey, this song got me through a really tough time." Like, that means a lot to me, man, and like that definitely motivates me through it. But like, I don't know, like if we're talking like full on bigger picture, why like I really do this shit is like I really just enjoy making music, man, and expressing myself as much as I can, and like while the people side of it and everything is like such a crazy good added benefit that motivates me to make the music, it's like there's nothing that beats like truly, for me, just truly expressing yourself in this way, you know what I mean?
And that, but doing that inspires others because they're like, yo, he's in his bag. He's leading by example.
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
And so then, so because there's a way where we can interact with them and be like, yeah, they're our fans, but you got to lead it by example at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like for you, it's like it's not really about so much the people. It's not about like money. It's just like do something you love and you don't work, right?
Yeah, that's
Eli doesn't really like to work. He just wants to make music and have fun, and that can be work. So that's perfect.
That would be
makes the
dope,
most
right?
sense.
That's the goal, is to really just like be able to pay my bills and continue to do this stuff, because there's so many different benefits that come from doing this and like doing it, like somewhat successfully, that like just being able to continue doing it as much as I can is like is what motivates me, and just like making good music. I don't even think I've halfway reached the potential of the music that I want to make, you know what I mean? And like just getting opportunities to work with like other producers or other people who have like crazy ideas, and like just getting in studio sessions and stuff like that is like super exciting and motivating for me. Like,
that's dope.
I really just love the music, man. It's all I've ever done. Like it's my whole life has just been pretty well one like direction pointing to do this one thing, right? And like it's all I've ever really wanted to do. So it's like I consider myself super blessed even to be like where we're at, So yeah, man, it's I guess just like enjoying it as much as I can.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, happiness.
Nothing I like.
I mean, it looks like you have the right people around you anyway. So
yeah,
and you guys have like shown what you guys have done so far. You guys have met some good people on the way. Just keep doing what you're doing. I have no doubt you guys will continue to have a long career together.
That.
Yo, I call it here. You're like the new generation Cobain, bro. Like, seriously, bro. Like just the vibe and the aura and shit like that. I can see you with your guitar.
My mom would love that shit.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So I call it here. I just felt that energy while I was just like watching, bro. I was like,
Kurt
yo,
Cobain.
for real,
Yeah, that's
bro.
a fact. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
actually.
bro.
I mean,
When I was watching Tijuana, I was like, bro. One, I didn't even know it was the motel on Kingsway. But then I was like, this is different, bro. This is a different energy. It's a different look. But I like how, I don't know, it just felt very authentic, I guess, in a way. And there was like no shame in putting it out there.
Yeah, that's
You know
kind
what
of
I'm
like what we aim for sure.
Yeah.
But,
Authenticity.
man, I hope I don't go out like Cobain, but I'm trying to.
Yeah.
That's a
New generation. That's why I said
that's a
the
big
new
one.
New
That's
generation.
why I said the new
Kind of
generation.
different, huh?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, if I could be as, man, that guy was genius, bro. That guy was crazy.
Yeah, that's a big.
Genius,
That's
bro.
a big level to be compared to, but
Gas him up.
don't gas him up too much.
Yeah.
You gotta keep him sad so we can write some good sad stuff.
Bless. Well, damn, man. Thank you guys for pulling up
Yeah, appreciate
and
it.
opening
Yeah.
season 2.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Season 2.
I have no doubt that this season is going to be even crazier than last season, so it's a blessing to have you guys open up for us.
Yeah,
Did you say
appreciate.
Seasons was out now? Or?
Yeah, Seasons is out now.
Season's out now, baby. Let's go.
See?
2, baby.
Run it up.
See? Season's 2 out now, music video out now.
Hell yeah.
New Elijah Blond coming soon.
Come on, soon.
Season 2, episode 1.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay tuned for more content coming from the Av. Stay tuned for some good energy, yo. Like, we're having some amazing people come on the show. We're super hyped. We've been building up to season 2 for a while, planning this, making sure we're curating the right content for y'all to, consume. Knowledge is free and knowledge is key. So we're gonna keep running it up,
Bars.
baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Knowledge is free, knowledge is key.
Yes, sir.
Music is healing, songs are feeling.
Oh, it's just,
giving up on
Say
you.
something, I'm giving up on you. Ooh.
Season 2.
Season 2.